We are drowning in news. Reuters alone puts out 3.5 million news stories a year. It's just one source. So how many of these stories are actually gonna matter in the long run? That's the idea behind the Long News. It's a project by the Long Now Foundation, which was founded by TED stars including Kevin Kelly and Stuart Brand. What we are looking for is the news that still might matter in 50 or 100 or 10,000 years from now. If you look at the news through that filter, a lot falls by the wayside. To take the top stories this last year, is this gonna matter in a decade? Or this? Or this? Really? Is this going to matter in 50 or 100 years? Okay, that was kind of cool. But the top news of this past year was this one: economy. And I am betting that sooner or later this particular economic recession is going to be all news. So what kind of news will make difference for the future? Well, let's take science. Little robots. Someday little robots will go through our bloodstreams and fix things. And that someday is already here if you are a mouse. So some recent stories: nanobeads will zap tumors with real bee venom. They are sending genes to your brains. A robot they build can crawl in the human body. Well, what about resources? How are we gonna feed 9 billion people? We're having problem 6 billion people today. As we heard yesterday, 1 billion people hungry. There is 1 billion people hungry. Britain will starve without genetically modified crops. Fortunately, Bill Gates has bet $10 billion in agricultural research. What about global politics? World is going to be very different when and if China sets the agenda, and they might. They have overtaken the US as the world biggest car market. They have overtaken Germany as the largest exporter. And they have started to do DNA tests on kids to choose their careers. We are finding all kinds of ways to push the limits of what we know. Some recent discoveries. There is an ant colony from Argentina that has now spread to every continent but Antarctica. Self-directed robot robot scientist that's made a discovery. Soon science might no longer need us. Life may no longer need us neither. Microbe wakes up after 120,000 years. It seems, with or without us, life will go on. But my pick of the top long news of this past year is this: water found on the moon. Makes it a lot easier to put a colony up there. If NASA doesn't do it, China might. Or somebody in this room may write a big check. My point is this: some news stories are more important than others.